All right. So I just saw something live in the market, and I apologize. I have an active trade on here, so if I interrupt this lesson for a second to deal with that, I apologize. But I saw something live that I wanted to kind of bring up and to kind of show everybody that something that used to always get me. And once I understood this concept, it really helped me stay away from these problems and helped me stay in trades for longer. Um, so the big guy, we have first of all, we have this negative idea about the big guy. Like he's a stop loss hunter. He's coming to get us. He's trying to take all of our money. He's our enemy. We're competing against him, which is a really bad way to look at things. First of all, you're putting this negative idea onto the market. Like the market is some evil thing out to get us, and we're trying to make money out of it, right? When we keep getting screwed, it's the big guy. It's my broker. It's not fair. It's this. It's that. The news got me again. Whatever it is, you're making excuses for why you're losing, and you're using that negativity to feed that idea. Once you stop being negative about it and you start looking at it like, why did I lose that? If you can change your ideas in that way, it will make a big difference in your trading, I promise. Because then you can focus on everything is 100% my fault. You're the one that clicked the button to open the trade. You're the one that put your stop loss in that position. You're the one that's done every single thing along the way. It's no one else's fault but yours. And if you get rid of that negative mindset and start to focus on that idea, that's how we get better. We get better by losing. Tom Brady's the only person that gets better by winning. That's the only person I know of that gets better when he wins. So I wanted to kind of give you a different look at the big guy to kind of hope that it can help you understand like he's not out to get you. He's not some evil being out there trying to ruin your life. What he's trying to do is his job, just like you're trying to do your job, right? You just have very different jobs. That's all. So I wanted to kind of break this down for you real quick and show you an example of what his life is like. So the first thing to understand is that he can't just go in there and fill his orders, right? Like for me this morning, I get in when the market's super slow. It's pre-market. The London market's going, but New York market hasn't opened yet, so things are pretty slow overall. I want to put in 5 micro contracts. I hit a button to fill my order, and it's instant. There's no delay. There's no nothing. It's just boop, order filled. Let's go. That's all it takes. Sorry, let me get rid of 3 positions here real quick. 3 sell. Okay, all right. Pull that down. Okay, just got to get a bit of a bigger stop loss here to prepare for 925. Um, so so the big guy, right? He says, okay, I want to fill my order, right? He goes and clicks a button for $1 billion. It's not going to happen. There's just no way. The market doesn't have that kind of liquidity. So he needs something like a major news event, something like that to happen in order for him to fill his orders. Or he needs a lot of people putting their stop loss someplace that he can hit, that he can then fill his orders by hitting your stop loss. Okay? So is he stop loss hunting? Absolutely he is. But you have to remember that he has to in order to do his job. So don't look at him like he's evil. He's doing his job, and you can see him doing his job. Okay? And I'm going to show you how. All right? So first of all, we have this downtrend, right? So first of all, we have this very big uptrend, but then it rolls over and it starts to head down, right? So we have a higher time frame doing a pullback. Okay? So when it comes down here, so the big guy has to go in here and he has to fill his orders, right? So let's say he's got 1 billion contracts that he needs to fill today. Okay? And you know what? Let me back up for just a second. Let me tell you a story real quick that will help put this into perspective. Okay? There's a book called The Reminiscence of a Stock Trader. It's widely believed to be about Jesse Livermore, who's one of the greatest traders of all time. Well, Jesse Livermore is sitting in his office, and somebody walks into his office and says, "Hey, I just got news that this big corporation is putting all of their money into this instrument. Let's call it the NASDAQ." Okay? He comes in and he says, "Hey, they're putting all their money into the NASDAQ. They're going all in. They know something nobody else knows. This market's going to raise up pretty aggressively. We need to get in now before it does." And so Livermore says, "Okay, let me take a look at this." So with the guy in his office, he calls his broker and he says, "Hey, broker, I want to sell 10,000 lots on the Nasdaq." And the guy's like, "No, no, no, I said buy, I said buy." And he's like, "I know. Let me work." And so he says, "Sell 10,000 lots on the Nasdaq." So the broker says, "Okay, filled, done." And he's like, "Oh, that was fast. Okay, let me sell 20,000 more contracts on the Nasdaq." And the broker's like, "Okay, done." And he's like, "Oh, okay, interesting." Now the guy's fuming. He's really pissed. But what he's doing is he's testing the market to see if someone's buying those orders, right? Because this guy comes in with great information, but he doesn't know that it's true. He's not going to risk all this money on someone else's word. So what he does is he does the opposite to see if somebody's buying it up. Is somebody sitting there waiting for orders to come in? And if they are, he can now capitalize on that. And now he knows because now he's put in 30,000 lots and it got snatched up instantly. He knows there's someone sitting there big trying to do this, right? So then he says, okay, liquidate that position. I want out of all my sells, and then I want to turn around and buy 50,000 lots. And now when he does that, when he goes to sell it, the market starts moving, right? Because now the market can't handle that kind of liquidity. It's too fast for it because it's going the wrong way. Because the big guy is trying to buy it too. So now he's competing with the big guy to buy the orders, right? So eventually it gets filled, but his median price gets pushed all the way up. So for example, if I'm here and I got two contracts on here and then I buy two more contracts up here, let's say I go up here and I buy two more contracts right here, my median price moves up to here, right? So that's what happens to the big guy. He needs to get his orders in as low as possible to do his job properly. He can't keep buying it higher and higher and higher. That's terrible for him. So let's walk through what the big guy is looking at, right? Say the big guy needs to get in $1 billion today. And so he's waiting to buy. He's like, okay, we got a pullback coming in. I'm going to start looking to see if I can get in some of my contracts, right? So it comes down here and it hits this level right here, right? And for whatever reason, he's like, okay, this is a level I'm really interested in, this price level. So he goes down here and he puts in $2 million, okay? He goes, okay, I'll buy 2 million right here. And the market moves up a little bit and then it gets lower. He's like, awesome. I've got sellers. I'm going to start filling orders as this trend is going down, right? He comes down here and he says $5 million now. Let's see how that works out. And he goes, boom. Okay, it moved. Let's see what happens next. It starts coming down, but it's coming down in a way that indicates that it's not looking very good. It's trying, it's struggling. There's wicks, all this stuff. So there's starting to be more buyers. But he's like, okay, I better get in a little bit more contracts here and see how that works. So right here he goes, bam, 5 million. Let's see what happens. But when he puts in the 5 million, he goes boom and shoots up higher and breaks that level. And he's like, damn it. Now everybody can see that it's a buyer. Everyone knows now, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people, a lot of the big time traders, this is what they're seeing now. They're like, oh, we have a new trend that just formed. We have an ABC and we have volume. That means that something pushed it up, right? Somebody made that go up. So, okay, cool. Let's all start buying. But we need to pull back first, right? We don't just buy at the top. That's crazy. So then we wait for that pullback. The pullback comes in and we buy it, just like I did right here. Now, once you buy it, what happens, right? This is your level that you're like, okay, let's see if he breaks out. Well, what happens and what I used to do all the time and what a lot of big time traders still do is as soon as it gets higher, they pull up their stop loss, right? Because they say, okay, we broke that level. Now we got to take some of our risk off the board. That's standard practice. Everyone knows that trick. That's the idea, right? Get your risk off the table. So they move up their stop loss to where? Right below the last low, right? Then you also have all the breakout traders. Now remember, a breakout trader's mindset is I'm trying to get in after I know it's a good trend. They're waiting for confirmation. So they are always getting bad positions. They never get a good position because they're always waiting for their confirmation. You got your choice. You can either get a good position and have it be riskier, or you can get a bad position and have confirmation, right? So that's the idea. But as a breakout trader, what you end up doing is you start to go, as soon as it breaks, I'm going to get in. You're not going to wait for the candle to close or anything like that. You want to get in immediately. Now, as soon as you get in right here with your bad position, where do you put your stop loss? Right here, right? You go right below the low again. That's what everybody does. Now, we also have all the guys that are like, this is still a sell. And it may be. It may be, right? They all say it's still a sell. This is just a pullback on a higher time frame. So they're like, okay, let me see a double top, right? So right here, I would call this right here a double top. But some people would wait to call it a double top until this guy comes in. But also, a lot of people wait until it crosses this line because they say, well, that's a double top, but I want to wait till it confirms by getting lower, creating that lower low, okay? So then everyone will get in right here. So everyone sees this. Everyone knows that this is the area. This is the big buildup. All the big time traders are putting their money in whichever way that they're trying to go, right? Then the big guy says, okay, now I've already got in $17 million from down here. I need this price to get down there so I can get all these contracts down here and I can buy them all up. I need it to go down, right? So he says, okay, on my other account broker, I want you to sell $10 million. As soon as it gets higher here, I'm going to put in a $10 million order right there. And then, bam, it shoots down. It drops the market hard. It goes down here and hits everyone's stop loss. Then you have the double top guys that are also like, oh, look, it's breaking out, right? As soon as this candle finishes getting lower, they go, oh, it's breaking out. Let's go, right? The sell's back on. They all do it. All these buyers that got in just like I did, they all just got their stop losses hit. They seen the power come in. They're all jumping in on the sells now too. So now we've hit everyone's stop losses. We've turned everyone into sellers. Now the buyer can go ahead and start filling up his orders completely right at that moment. Okay. Now he gets out of his $10 million. He can buy up that $10 million himself. He can also then buy up all the stop losses and all the guys that are trying to reverse. He's now getting their money as it comes in here and hits this area. So he's putting in more money there. And now it's off to the races. So now every time he adds, he's now built up, say, $40 million. So now when he adds and he goes $10 million up here, because now the trend is moving up and everybody knows it is. So when he puts in $10 million, the market keeps slipping away from him and giving him worse and worse prices. So this is the nightmare scenario for him, right? We all look at this like, woohoo, we're in a big trade, the market's moving. He's going, fuck, I've still got all these contracts that I have to fill. I can't have it going like this. But here it goes, off to the races. He can't stop it now, right? So that's kind of the big guy's mentality. That's what he's trying to do, is he's trying to fill his orders. He's not out to get you. He's out to do his job. You just have to pay attention to what he's doing. That's all. That's all. You're trying to be his friend. The trend is your friend. The big guy is your friend if you're paying attention. You just have to try to recognize what he's doing. The best way to do that is to look at the trend and then just try to follow the trend. When the trend pulls back, try to get in. But don't have that close little weird stop loss. I did that for years and years and years, and I would make these crazy big gains at times because of it, but most of the time I would lose, and just give it all back. So looking at the big guy like he's your friend, I really think can help a lot when you look at it that way. Just try to make him your friend and try to do whatever it is that he's doing. Just pay attention to it. But I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions or you want to see anything else, just let me know. I'd be happy to try to go deeper into this or another concept. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing good, making some money, and let's just get better, guys. Let's get better together.